Hey guys, it's Greg from BitGoblin again, and for today's video, we're going to talk for a little bit about why an UPS is a good investment to protect your computer. Whether you're talking about servers or workstations for a business, or a personal gaming PC that has a GPU worth more than its weight in gold, it can really save you a lot of pain and frustration down the road when those pesky power outages inevitably come in and wreck up the place. So let's get to it, shall we?
You smell that? It smells like a bit goblin.
In case you don't already know what one is, an UPS or an uninterruptible power supply is simply a battery backup for your computer, with the idea being to maintain a constant supply of power even in the event of a power loss. They can look like this one right here on the screen, which has a smaller battery and lower output rating and is more suitable for that of a desktop computer or a thin client. Or you can have a big beefcake of a box with multiple battery units and is meant more to supply power for multiple racks of equipment. Right now, you might be thinking something along the lines of, oh, that's very much like the battery in my laptop. And while yes, it is similar, there are some key differences. The batteries in your laptops or phones are designed to be moved around a lot and last for hours, if not days on end, without being recharged, and will actually degrade faster if you keep them plugged in charging all day. Meanwhile, the batteries in UPSs are designed around a more stationary workload to be plugged into the wall all the time and not moved around a whole lot, and are only really used as a fallback when your primary power source is lost. That is not to say that you can't have your workstation on like a cart with an UPS to keep it powered on while moving it around. Yes, I have actually seen that done before. This just means you're not going to replace your laptop with your desktop and an UPS. Anyways, having a battery for your PC is all well and good, but there are some pretty major benefits to using an UPS. It can protect your hardware from failing or partially failing during a power surge. You know the age-old story. A storm comes rolling through your neighborhood, lightning strikes a transformer, and the resulting power surge pwns your computer. Storms, amongst other things, are hard to predict, and it's better just to plan ahead and get an UPS than try to juggle unplugging your PC during storms. Now, a plain old surge protector you find for cheap at a store would protect you from power surges, yes, but another thing an UPS does is protect you from brownouts. This is because it essentially gives you a regulated, constant stream of power and negates any dips in voltage that you would see during a brownout, or increases that you'd see in a spike. The components in a PC are designed to run at a constant voltage, and even small fluctuations up or down can make your system behave erratically or even damage some components. Another thing that UPSs can do is help protect your data. This would mainly be an issue if you suddenly lose power when you're writing data to a disk or array, as an incomplete write would cause the data that's being written to be corrupted and unusable. But it can also corrupt other data on the drive too, or possibly even the drive's file system, depending on what operations are running during the power outage. And it's also particularly not great for a hard drive to lose power when writing data to disk, and can cause other mechanical failures as well. And no one likes dead hard drives, trust me. One more thing I would like to mention here is it's also kind of nice being able to continue working and not be interrupted by some random power flicker that gets caused by an animal chewing on wires or a random lightning strike taking out power for a moment. Or maybe you're just in an area with known shoddy power. I mean, honestly, it seems like every day from work, I'm getting at least a couple emails about UPSs switching to and from power. Again, outages are unpredictable, and it's really frustrating needing to pause what you're doing and restart every single time power flickers on and off. Or better yet, it'll save you trouble of going in and manually unplugging some systems because they're stuck in a weird power state after a power flicker. This all begs the question, however, of who actually needs one. For businesses, it's really just not worth taking the risk of losing critical business data, having downtime with your revenue generating systems, or even wasting the time of your employees or IT team. Lost revenue is obviously bad, and increasing costs by either needing to replace system hardware or paying your IT team to troubleshoot problems that could have been better spent doing other things. Just relatively speaking, the cost of proper UPSs for servers, networking, equipment, and workstations just pales in comparison. For personal use, though, it gets a little more complicated. I would say it's a good purchase if two things are true. One, the system you're considering protecting is important to you, and two, if you can afford one, since it's really not a necessity. If you're like me and you use your computer a lot for entertainment purposes like games, home labbing, TV and movies, and other various hobbies, it's probably worth spending a little bit extra to make sure you don't lose that by some component failing in a power outage. And if you like overclocking the snot out of your hardware, Inups can actually help you stay stable at higher clock speeds, since it'll essentially remove any fluctuations in voltage. But of course, this is not to say that this is needed for your PC and you should go out and buy one right now. If you can't afford one, that's okay. You don't need to feel like you're doing a disservice to your hardware or anything like that. I classify this as more of a nicety, for lack of a better word, that can protect an investment than a necessity. Your computer will run just fine, even if you do run a little more risk to lose it in the event of a power outage, and it's certainly not worth stressing out over too much if your budget is tight. So now you know what an UPS is, you're convinced that they're useful, and you think you should buy one, but which one do you buy? Thankfully, they come in all kinds of sizes and form factors to fit your use case and budget. There are those super high-end, high-powered UPSs that are meant to power whole racks of equipment, but you don't really need to spend a whole lot of money if that's just for your PC at home. There's this one here by APC for about $60, which would be great for a family PC, HTPC, or even a low-powered gaming PC. Keep in mind, though, that you do need to pay a little attention to the power ratings, since a lot of the cheaper UPSs can only supply about 300 to 400 watts of power, like this one here, which is not enough for a higher powered gaming system. In that case, you'll need something like this one by CyberPower for a little over 150, which has a higher power output and a larger battery to go with it. Now, in case you're wondering what brought this video on, it's just a bunch of silly mistakes that I've seen time and time again at work where someone decides that buying an UPS isn't worth it, something terrible happens to their server because, oh no, we totally could not have foreseen that power going out, or whatever, and then they start bugging their IT team to fix the problem. The resolution ends up taking longer than everyone wants, and yeah, you get the point. But to sum it all up, the benefits of using an UPS boil down to simply protecting your computers and data and minimizing interruptions to operations. There are many different possible causes for an issue with power, from the aforementioned nature-made issues like storms and animals chewing on wires, to things like a drunk driver haplessly crashing into a transformer, some crazy person shooting at squirrels on a utility pole, or someone messing up while working on your building's power and frying themselves, taking down a whole complex's power with them. Yes, I've actually been through that one before at work. It was a rough day shutting down everything when that happened, to say the least. Especially if you consider we're still in the middle of a massive silicon shortage and lead times on a lot of things can range from several weeks to several months. It's just not worth it to risk losing mission critical hardware for your business or even your treasured gaming PC and potentially have to sit through long hours troubleshooting the issue and RMAing dead hardware. Anyways, that's it for this one, and I hope you've all learned something new or at least got something out of it, and feel free to leave your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, then go hit the like button and get subscribed and all that junk, or if you didn't, then you know what to do. Go hit up the Big Goblin Discord server and join the community. I'm basically always online to chat. I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one.